Hello YouTube and welcome back to Tylo Or Bust. I'm Mike Braedley. We are here in orbit with our first refueler. We're just going to do some burns just to raise our apparatus so that we can prep for our final transfer burn. So yeah, I'm doing this in a few stages just to make it a little more efficient and so that I don't have to do something like a 15-minute burn all at once. So yeah, just a number of passes here, warp around, do another burn. Just my MechJeb windows. So these are, I think, 2.5-minute burns. So of course this is all sped up a fair amount, 10 times for pretty much the entire video. Because otherwise it'd be rather boring. So yep, another burn to raise our apparatus. We're getting closer to our desired apparatus. Another burn. And here you can see where we want to get our apparatus out to, and we do, actually a little further even. And now it's just a matter of setting up our transfer burn. Our transfer burn out to Jool, and waiting for the right time to do it, which is apparently next orbit. Well, not quite, but we'll get back to that. So I kind of miss this burn, and means I have to waste a ton of fuel. Literally a ton of fuel. And also I think there might be a little problem with my methodology and design. Oh, I decided to go one more orbit. And there we go. Oh! Shoot, I've already passed it because I didn't realize that I had time warp on. So I turn on all 12 sets of engines, but I didn't realize it here, but I don't seem to be getting any extra thrust from those front 8 engines. And it might be because their thrust is directed directly at the small tanks that I attach to behind. So anyways, yeah, that might be something I need to solve when I send more fuel out. Most of that other fuel is going to be going out off camera because, yeah, I've done this one episode and it took a long time, and yeah. So just transferring fuel and monopropellant over that back guy, leaving him behind. I'm not really too worried about having too much debris lying around. It's so sparse right now, and I've been cleaning up low Kerbin orbit fairly well. And so here we are on our way out, just doing our correction burn, or setting up our correction burn. A little early actually, and just getting ready to leave that stage behind after I do my correction burn. It's not quite that bad, but just better to be ready than not. And so we kind of get an encounter. It continues flashing for most of the time. But yeah, so that's a good chunk of that fuel gone, and we start headed out. It's almost at this point that I realize, hey, I should actually be setting up another fleet of fuelers to go out. So I set an alarm, kind of. I actually have to use just basic timed alarm. and I start launching my new set of fuelers. I'm actually pretty proud of these launches. I got them done pretty efficiently. It just so happens that this main stage, or main engine in the first stage, has just enough to get us to orbital height, but not quite in orbit, and so those stages fall back to Kerbin. So right about here. Yep. So the periapse on that is about 10 kilometers, and then it's a quick circularization burn. So up with the second guy. Again, this basic standard launch, except I realized that I needed to be pretty aggressive on that gravity turn, and then I just basically follow it through. So you'll see here in a second that I hit the prograde right there, and that's all I have to do to get this guy into space. Little adjustments on this one just to make sure I don't pass my apoaps on the way up. But a quick circularization burn, or get rid of that and circularize. And then it's just a matter of quickly rendezvousing. So, fix the orbital inclination, do a quick burn to close our gap. And then, here we go. Set up backjump to keep our orientation proper. Kind of. No, actually, no, I didn't do it for this one. Previous dockings I've used MechJub to keep me pointed parallel to the docking port. This one I was doing by hand, and some of the controls felt backwards. I'm not sure if that was because I was trying to dock backwards, essentially. But in any case, we still get in nice and close, or nice and aligned. Thrust towards, and then just about docked. And finally, the third chip to go up. So yeah, this is all basically just the same. Do your gravity turn at the right point, and do it hard enough, and then just keep burning prograde. So in this lunch, I actually managed to time it pretty well. We don't spend all that much time catching up to the target. Just a single orbit. Of course, fixing the inclination again. Or actually, it's even less than a single orbit. And those orbital insertion stages, I brought those all back down to Kerbin because still had plenty of fuel in them. All except for that first one, which we'll see here in a little bit. But before that, we'll switch back to our first fueler. And there we go, almost aligned. And aligned. Thrust towards. And docked. And just a quick test to make sure that all my action groups are set up. And then this happens. What's going on? Where's my nav ball? Where's my ship? We saw a quick flash of it there. So let's go back to the Space Center. Okay, where's my Space Center? You can't hear it in this clip, but the music is playing. So, yeah. Where is my Space Center? Come on. I'd like to be able to continue my game. So yeah, a bit of a mea culpa. I was switching back to my first transfer, and that was after I accidentally crashed it into Jool. So the Kraken is still alive, despite what others say. What had happened is, when I changed the sphere of influence, or changed warp or something, my periaps at Jool dropped much deeper into the atmosphere than I would normally like, and I ended up burning up and crashing. Here we go again, trying to get the Space Center to load, but it just isn't happening. So yeah, that's why I left this in here, just to fess up a bit. But anyways, we are back out with our second refueler. Our first one just dead. After trying the restore, it just disappeared from the map, so we're just not going to worry about it, and we're going to do this transfer burn a lot more efficiently. So, kind of a win, I guess, maybe? Again, multiple burns just to keep down the delta V per burn. So yeah, same thing as earlier in the episode. And also, I know you can't, or I take out all the game audio when I'm doing such massive fast forwards and just replace it with music, but I may have slightly messed up my recording settings, because I basically can't hear anything in any of the game sounds. So hopefully that I get that corrected for next episode, when I will be doing some live commentary and keeping the game sounds in. But yeah, so just getting rid of that insertion stage because it's empty, or, well, I transferred the fuel into the rest of it, and doing some more APWAPs raising burns. Again, these are 2.5 minute burns, I think. Just long enough to make good use of the Oberth effect, and yet still get some reasonable change out, or orbital changes out of it. And another burn, and then soon we will be doing our final insertion burn, transfer burn. Actually, I have one more burn after this, I think. Oh, no, setting up my insertion burn. But I will be modifying this just a bit, just to get things in the right area. Reduce my how much delta V I need. I come back around and see that I'm not quite in the right area. So shift that burn by one orbit, which is easy given that you have the orbital period supplied by MechJeb. Come back, still not quite happy, so shifted another orbit. Oh no, maybe not. And I start the burn. So yeah, this is a long burn. And just checking that fuel is draining properly. It's a little uneven, but that's okay because I can move the fuel around later. And then just start burning prograde. Not really caring about the maneuver node marker. So yep, that last stage is basically gone. So just emptying the fuel out of him and the monopropellant and then ditching him. And that actually caused me to lose my maneuver node. But that's okay because all I really need to do is burn prograde. And since I'm actually much closer to Kerbin, this is much more efficient of a burn than my previous. And this is just a quick orbital inclination change, my mid-transfer, and we're already out to Jool, thanks to editing. So yeah, this time I double-check that my periapse is going to be high enough so that I don't have to worry about burning up. And let the fireworks begin. Couple photo ops and bring my apoapse down. I actually do another pass within the atmosphere, but I'm not going to show it because why bother? There's a whole lot of other orbits that I cut out of this while I try to encounter Tylo. And there we see the encounter. Next orbit. So, quick correction. I couldn't drop a maneuver node, so I just guessed that I had to burn prograde and was right. But unfortunately, I end up in the wrong area for hooking up with my lander. So I tried a couple things, and they're just another cut to eventually get me to where I finally get close enough to encounter. You see that other orbit there? That's basically one of the fuel transfer stages. You can see I only have one here now. So I emptied another stage. I'm left with less than one full orange tank now, when I really intended to have 2.5 or so. So anyways, this docking goes pretty normally, except for the frame rate. I am down to maybe 5 frames a second here, and you can't really tell because it's going twice as fast, so it's effectively 50 frames a second rendered down to 30. But yeah, still things go pretty well. I transfer fuel, transfer monopropellant, and once that's all done, I disconnect and crash this guy into Tylo. Well, the transfer stage. But we won't see that. We're just gonna see me do a correction burn, or a burn to drop my apoapse so that I can meet up with the station. Again, I do a number of these just to A, so that I get that chance to fix my inclination, and B, so that I don't have to do the entire burn at once. I can do it in sections. And I have so much delta V to kill that it's basically impossible to do it all in one burn. So what I just do is set it up so that I get something close to an encounter, do a burn, see that I'm going to miss, and then make sure that by the next orbit we're again somewhere as close to an encounter, rinse and repeat. So this one, it was actually a 2 to 3 orbit or something like that. Or a 2 to 1 orbit. Which was the easiest way of ensuring I still got an encounter on the next closest, or my next closest approach was still within a few kilometers. And now comes the hard part, docking this leggy thing to that leggy thing. And I also have off-balanced RCS. So, yay! Because the lander itself doesn't have any RCS because I don't want to waste the weight. So this is me using the main engines just to get us closer. And then, yeah, now comes the real fun part. But that just about does it for us. Once I get this stocked, that'll be the end of the episode. So thanks so much for watching. I'm Mike Braedley. This has been Tylo Or Bust. I'll see you next time.